Hello, living in Boulder vlog, 10:49 a.m. Monday, for April 1st. Um, I just got up, haven't started working yet. I was up till like 3 or something, until passed out. I was working on the mountains again on the mosquito range, and I didn't have a whole lot of mountains on the mosquito range, and so I was doing that and some other mountains and stuff. Um, Kind of took a long time, but then I started on a new project that I can do in conjunction with everything else. I think I've been thinking about this for a while, but yeah, all of a sudden, well, I got up, I was working a little bit, and then my roommate came in and gave me a joint, and I haven't smoked weed since I was eating those edibles, and then I stopped, and I wasn't going to do any more weed and wasn't planning on it. But then my roommate gave me that joint, and I was thinking, I decided to go ahead and I decided to go ahead and smoke it. So I'm not going to smoke any more joints though, any more nothing from now on. I just did that, try it out because my tolerance is so much lower. And whoa, yeah, I got super ripped. My God. But what happened was, I came up with an idea. Didn't come up with the idea when I was sober. Came up with it when I was high. But all of a sudden, I decided that I wanted to go ahead and do this thing where I was thinking about before, where you fill in the sides of the buildings. I mean, the books. I was doing I was doing Plato Republic and Plato and Aristotle Politics yesterday, and I was listening to Aristotle Politics, and I was listening. I've listened to it a whole bunch of times, and I said to myself, I'm not really like learning as much. I want to increase the learning speed process, and then also I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and just put the quotes on the side. So I have the books, and the white part is where the words are, and then on the left side, on the right side, you have these columns. That's where the images go. I don't put images in the middle because it makes it not symmetrical. I want to have the entire thing just jam packed with images on the side. And so, like whenever somebody's talking about a town, you can put the Google Earth screen capture of all the stuff I have about that town, because I have town walls and differences between the towns, distances between the towns and the kingdoms and stuff on my Google Earth. If you look at my Strabo, like chapter 8, you can see that in Peloponnese. I have it nicely done, and so I I did a screen capture of all of the different of the colors, just these blocks, off my website, so I could have the same color as the real color, and then I opened that on Photoshop, and then I just put words on top of it in kind of dark golden, the golden sayings. So because a lot of time when I'm listening to a book, and I'm sure a lot of people agree with me, if you listen to a book a bunch of times, there's always comes to that sentence where you go, oh, I remember that sentence, and oh, I remember that part. It's the part you always pay attention to. So whenever I get to those parts, I want to copy and paste those onto this Photoshop, and then I can turn those into an image and upload them to Flickr, and then embed them from Flickr onto my page, and so the computer can read the entire book without reading those images, because the computer doesn't read the images, so it doesn't get in the way. If you have your computer read Wikipedia articles for you, it can get confusing because it's reading the article, and all of a sudden it's reading the caption from the photo on the side, because the words on the photo, they're actual words, they're not part of the photo, so the reader doesn't know the difference. And so if you do it my way, where all the words on the side are actually images, it just skips over that and it flows nicely. But at the same time, you get to have the words on the side. So, like when you're looking at it, it actually on the computer, or at least on the phone, it reads along. You know exactly where you are. You can pick up the phone and you can look at it, and you can see it reading, and then on the side you can see the golden saying. So, or when you look at the book, you can just scroll down the book and look at the images that the towns are talking about, and then look at all the golden sayings and go, oh wow, that's an interesting saying. So then you just do a Control F, and then you can find that actual saying there. I was thinking about finding my favorite sayings on the book by highlighting them at different colors. I think I was talking about this before. Here, your website, the first speed reader friendly website, and by highlighting different colors. But I think I want to maybe I'll do that in the future. But I won't do it highlighting the colors by my favorite sayings. I'll have to highlight the colors by just what kind of sayings they are. Like if they're quotes, if they're talking about what happened in an example of what you're talking about. If you say like a general rule, if you're talking about like a war or something, you just have all the different whatever they're talking about in different colors, and that way the golden saying on the side is different, because I wanted to do that just to help me understand the book, and it goes by really quickly. It's something that I can work with two different things at the same time. I'm still working on the Google Earth. Hopefully I'll be done with this today, but I can be working on this computer with Google Earth or web, whatever. And then at the same time, I'm listening to whatever book, because I have like 270 books on my website that I want to do all of that with. It's like 140,000 pages or something crazy. So it's just something that you get in the habit of doing in conjunction. So you're just, you're working, and then you go, oh, wait. And because it's a fast process, you go, oh, that. And so then you remember what they said. You remember the exact words or part of the words, Control F, find what part of the book it was, copy that, paste it onto the image in the Photoshop, save it, what section that is, save it as what the words are, and then just put that off into the file, the image file for that book, and then just load up those files really, to your heart's content. And then when you ever get around to it, just upload them all to Flickr, and then you can very quickly just paste them embed them onto your website, because you know where they go. It says what chapter, I write what chapter it is, but if you forget to do that, you just paste the, write down, on Control F, whatever it is, and then you find where it is, you put it in its right section, and then if they're talking about a town, you know that that's part of a town, so then you put the image of the town below it, and then, yeah, jam-pack all those books with images down the side. So it was super exciting, super exciting. So I went out and I was like, ooh, whenever I get super excited about a new project, I want to drink. So I went to for Jägermeister, but they weren't closed, so I got one of these little strawberry readers, but it just mainly made me sick. But anyways, yeah, so now I got up and I'm gonna listen to Plato Politics and just, but the thing is, the method I have to do is I do it by chapters. I have 10 different colors for my books. So I just choose a chapter and listen to that chapter over again, and I just use the same color as a chapter, so all you see is the golden letters over the original color. And I just do that chapter and over again until I'm content with it and I'm filled, because I can't come back and do that same chapter later, because I might forget and do the same quote twice, and that sucks. I don't just waste time. So yeah, you just do a chapter until you're like, oh wow, I think I got all the quotes, and then you just move on to another one, and then you post all the images on there later, and you see how it fits, and if you want more, So yeah, it's a great method for me to memorize the book, and also for anybody who reads it, because you can get the big points, because there's lots of golden sayings that we really need to know, be common knowledge in society. Otherwise, we would have identified Trump as a tyrant. Tyrants are, Aristotle says right there, tyrants are people who come out of the rabble, regular people who aren't intellectuals, and then they get people who just kiss their asses, and then the people who are smart get pushed away. It's the formula. So people don't know that because they don't read. So, yeah, it helps me, but it also brings the books to light. So anyways, I've talked a while. Hopefully I'll finish this Google Earth thing today. It's kind of dragging on, but I'm glad that I got started on this. I've been thinking about it for a while. If you want to see what it looks like, I only have one up there. If you want to see what it looks like, go to book 5 of Plato Politics, where he's talking about regime change, and I have one up there on the top on the golden sayings. Okay, later. See you tomorrow.